Fabienne Jacq, you're so welcome to this All Atlantic Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me. First of all, can you let the viewers know who you are and your role in this All Atlantic collaboration?
Okay, so thank you first as well to invite me in this conference. So I'm Fabienne Jacq. I'm policy officer in the Commission. I'm working on the Copernicus program in the Directorate General in charge of space, defense, and industry. But I'm working very closely with all my colleagues for ocean matters. Will it be in the DGRTD or in Mare, or we are all working together when it comes to ocean. We are a very good team, in fact, at the Commission. So that's why I was invited to attend this event and to discuss what we can do for the All Atlantic Alliance.
And of course, the All Atlantic Challenge also presents us with some amazing opportunities. What are those opportunities that you see it from your perspective? What can we do right now to safeguard the ocean and to perhaps explore it at a greater depth?
So it's a huge issue. I would say if we want to safeguard the oceans or to achieve something healthy, sustainable, I think what is key is really to have something which is an ocean which is healthy, because this is our patrimony and our heritage as humans. I would say, the planet is blue, and make it sustainable because we live from it. So this is really the key 2 points. So. First of all, to be healthy and to do anything around ocean, we need to know about the ocean. So I think knowledge is key. The knowledge is data, but this is also a lot of science and specialists working with this data to understand what is going on, observing and predicting and simulating what we could do. So science is first. It's not first. It's major. But it's an holistic view that we need to have on the ocean, I would say. So before to talk from science, I think we need also, as Commission and as all participants in this story, in this adventure, we need also to have a political action and to act, regulate, and to regulate and protect our oceans. Meaning creating regulation. Regulation is not only law, it's not only constraints, it's also the way to protect. And this is something that we have to work on to create regulation that protects our ocean, but not only at coast, but also in the open ocean, because the ocean is something moving all the time. This is completely shared. We have areas which are completely free beyond national jurisdiction, and I think this is very important that we regulate as well these areas to protect our biodiversity, to the fauna, better share our resources, and in kind of regulation as well. We have a lot already, but this is important, I think, to have something which is made intelligent so that the economy can survive, but the ocean is also protected. And so that we better share our resources and taking into account that we need to know the evolution of what is going on in the ocean, its behavior, its ecosystem, and so on. And then for this and for regulation in practice, the EU is really committed to the international ocean governance. This is major for us. Because again, it's, I think, our heritage that we need to protect, our planet, and it's not only philosophy; it's a reality. Then I'm going back to science. In fact, our policy makers and decision makers, they need science. They need to know, and the ocean is something which is not enough understood, I think, or underestimated. We are investing a lot on the moon and Mars. But the planet is blue again. So on the science part, if I would tackle some specific topics, a lot is done. Operational oceanography exists. That's fine. It's not enough recognized because we say science to policy, but in between we have ocean services, operational oceanography, which is important. From a scientific perspective, I'm not the specialist, but for me, there is at least 2 points that are really critical to now, is to tackle the carbon issue in the ocean, because carbon sink and CO2 emissions, it's not only about forests. 25% is addressed by the ocean. So I think what is all blue carbon should be re-emphasized, because it has an important role as carbon sink. So it's a solution, but it creates also dangers for the ocean with the acidification and so on. And the other point that we need to foster on, I think, is biodiversity and all what is marine ecosystem modeling. We did the physics very well. I think the biochemistry is well understood now. Even we have a lot to do still in terms of pollutant resolution and so on. All what is about live ecosystem, I think we have to work on it still. And this is a very, very complex, because there is a lot of interactions with anthropogenic activities as well. So for me, that's the action which are important. I don't know if it answers to you. There is plenty of things to do also in terms of socializing, education, sharing a lot, sharing data and sharing software and models and so on. We have to do it. The digital world is coming. It's a brand opportunity to do it. We will have everything to do it. So now we have to do it, because we have to progress. But I'm really convinced that we will do that. And that's where the All Atlantic Alliance is great, because it's the goal to share, and to share beyond our EU member states and the continent scale. So that's really great.
And of course, you talk about the planet being blue. So it's a universal ocean, and it's a shared ocean, and reaching the hand across the ocean from north to south. Would you say that that has been a game changer in terms of European policy, but also in terms of action being taken? Is that going to make waves in terms of protecting the ocean?
I think so, because what is interesting is that I think the oceanographers, they worked together already since 20, 30 years. Yeah? It's not new. We have very good programs which are organized internationally, like around goose, with DBCP, with Argo, with AIBP in the Arctic, and plenty of things. We have the regional goose in goose. So we are organized. So it's already there. What is interesting with the All Atlantic Alliance is that, again, it's a political recognition that we have to do it. So it's more than scientists working together. It's scientists working together, but for something. And what is interesting is that with this alliance, we take on board the states, the countries. In fact, when we are meeting people, I had a meeting with Africa, organized by RTD. What was interesting is that around the table, it was not a scientist, but it was the scientific advisor to ministers. It was ministers. And so it means that the political dimension is close to the science dimension. So that's where it's really good, in fact. So yes, I think it works. It works because it helps us to organize such meeting, to discuss about the big investment that we have to do together in terms of science and ocean observation. But this is also a place where we can discuss the application of this science, to create applications, to better manage our costs, better manage our MPAs, marine protected areas, and so on and so forth, or our fisheries. And so it's beyond science, it's also sharing best practices. And that's where it's interesting, and it works.
And you mentioned the role of education, and that leads me to the point around ocean literacy and also engaging with citizens, who are a very important stakeholder. Do you think that we as citizens, and as I live by the coast, do you think that we have a better appreciation now for what's happening in the ocean, and that we all need to take personal responsibility? Do you think that message has gotten out? I know you can always educate, right? But do you think that it has improved?
Yes, I think so, because we did a lot. I look at it at my own scale. I'm French, okay, but I see oceans reports or news at the TV or special shows around climate and ocean. So it means that it works. And also, what was important and efficient is that the threat of plastics at the ocean is something that is really well understood. And I think the young people and even less young, 30, 40 years, they clearly understand that what they put in the bin goes to the ocean. And that's it's a good vector for education. Then I think they don't understand all the threats because plastic is not the only threat. And if you talk about eutrophication or acidification, they may not understand. And maybe farmers, they don't realize yet really the impact of what they do on land in the oceans. But I think, yes, the socialization and information is progressing a lot. And we can see it with all the international statement on the ocean now. So it works. And then we have to train our next generation. It starts at school.
For sure, start at school, absolutely. And looking ahead to the All Atlantic 2021 conference, connecting, acting, and cooperating, what are your hopes for that event? It's happening over 3 days. It's hybrid. It's hosted under the Portuguese presidency of the EU, and some of the events happening in the Azores. What is your big ambition? What do you hope to get out of it?
So I said it already. I think first of all, what would be interesting is really to reach a consensus on the big scientific challenges that we have to tackle. So for me, and especially in the Atlantic, there is one point which is really important in the Atlantic is the ocean circulation. It's changing. A lot is going on in the Atlantic because of the connection with Arctic and Loop and so on. And so the climate change dimension and the impact of climate change and how it will change in the Atlantic is really critical because there is a lot of population around. It will change completely the weather. And so we need to know because it will have an impact. And this is the link, the link with the other topic. I think the other topic is maybe to work on extreme events in the Atlantic, and the level of occurrence, their impact, because it will affect a lot of cost and population again. So for me, this is the second topic, which is really relevant for the Atlantic. I don't say it's not in the Indian Ocean or in the Pacific, but at least for us, and this is linked also to the ocean circulation and climate change. And then there is the point on biodiversity again. Why? Because we have big migrations of protected areas, protected species, and also big tuna and things like that in the Atlantic, south-north, and also west-east. And again, it's important to know how we tackle sustainable management of marine resources, for example, to do that. So that's, I would say that the three big topics I see in terms of science. Then going beyond, because for me it goes beyond, it's because it's a link between science and policy. I think it's, I'm advocating all the time, everywhere, that we must transition the results of science into operational ocean services, which are sustained, open, available for everyone, so that the people at national scale and local scale can be prepared. And prepared in terms of coastal floods, but in terms of long-term resilience also to climate change, and to support maritime spatial planning, to support land planning in some cases. So we really need to have operational ocean services everywhere, and not only science, because it's like meteorology, it's like weather services. And so it's obvious for a small island, but this is true also for us. I was looking to sea level rise some time ago for a vice president, and I was looking at the statistics, and they say that in 50 years we may have London flooded. London flooded. So it means something. It's not only the others, it's everywhere. So there was also a scientific paper saying that Ribe, which is the Ribe, this is a very small town in Denmark, but this is the birthplace of the Vikings. It will be flooded. It will disappear. So that's why it's really critical. And here I'm talking about cultural heritage and economy. So we have to realize this. That's why it's really important that now policymakers and science are working together and taking care that the scientists do the job and searching and finding solution, and that we transition that into something sustained and operational services, ocean services. That's really for me something that we have to discuss in the whole Atlantic. And especially because this has to be done basin per basin, because the physics is different from basin to basin. So it's logic to do that. Then I think there is one point which is important for, again, the work to be done is how to better share data, how to improve ocean observation, support co-creation with digital tools. It will be available. I think it will help us a lot, and I think everyone is convinced of that. So it's not a big deal. And sharing, it's sharing north south, south north with our Brazilian colleagues, with Africa, Canada, everywhere.
And of course, this
So
conference,
an equal chance for everyone.
so this conference is going to have the who's who of the marine science world, almost like the Oscars of ocean science. If people are watching this and they haven't registered already, what would you say to them? Why should they take a day or 2 days out of their working year to come, listen, contribute, and engage at All Atlantic 2021?
I think they could listen to it because even if there are not oceanographers, they may need the information in order to make their own little job. I'm talking on people working, for example, in land planning. They may need information from oceans. People working in protecting turtle juveniles. They need ocean information. People working in energy renewables, they want to make energy siting and so on. They need information from us, and they have to realize that this is complex, but this is available, and a lot can be done together, and especially because they will have to link their own science with the ocean science. In fact, it's not separated, it's coupled. And that's why they should listen to it. And they should listen to it as well, because this is fascinating.
It is going to be fascinating. Even this conversation has been fascinating. So much information in such a short period of time. But Fabienne Jacq, thank you so much for joining us on this interview this afternoon. And we look forward to seeing you at All Atlantic 2021.
Okay, thank you very much. And have a good conference.